Hello, everyone. Namaskar. It's really an honor to be present here, to be not able to see anyone, but still able to share my thoughts. So yeah, I think we had a very wonderful last presentation, I would say. We saw what social media is and what it isn't. I'll try to go a bit under the hoods for the startup ecosystem. So back, and what I wish to focus on is how startups and innovation are connected. How do we ensure that as a company, as a team, we keep innovating again and again? And what are the key ingredients of it that allow us to be better as we grow, as we scale, as we build better, become a better unit? So back in the early days when we were starting Shadowfax, when we were young and we were naive, we felt that startup is all about an innovative idea. All you need is a good idea and you are ready to start it off. Little we knew, and when after running for 10 years of Shadowfax, when we are definitely more naive, I hope I am younger, but it is true for sure that it is not about an innovative idea. It is about innovating daily. As a company, if you are running, as a unit, as a team that you are running, it is important to ensure that every day you are solving one or the other problem in a way that hasn't been solved earlier. And that's the beauty about it. There are some exciting problems which people say in their memes that what my friends think I do, or what my introduction said that yes, I do route optimization using AI. But there are some boring and monotonous jobs that I also do, which is how to figure out an innovative way to know what is the pin code of a nearby PAN center. Fun fact, the reason why I do so is because there are some addresses that we get where people say that my address is near Ramji Pan Center. And our delivery boys have to figure out where in the entire city of Bangalore is Ramji Pan Center. So that's the key thing that we have learned so far. Okay, it's not about getting an idea and running throughout with it. It's about solving each and every problem across the board. Now, throughout our journey, the important thing that we have realized is that it is about setting the right culture. It is about setting the right processes that allow you to innovate on a constant basis. And some of these learnings is something that we wish to share right now. I think I'll start first with embracing failures. And this was one of the most important learnings for us as a team, as a unit as well. That if you want to innovate, you need to learn how to embrace failures. 8 out of 10 times, you are bound to fail when you are trying out a new idea or trying out a new solution. It is bound to happen, and it is going to hurt your self-confidence as well. It is also important that during those times, or it is often observed by a lot of people, that when your ideas are not clicking through, when your output is not coming through, when you are seeing the failures, the entire culture tries to penalize you or tries to judge you from a perspective that this person is not able to execute well, or this person is not able to innovate. The important learning that we had in our journey, in our ecosystem, was to build that sort of a culture that experimenters are not penalized. It's okay if the idea that you ran through did not work out. It's okay that even 10 out of 10 things that you tried did not work out well. You are bound to fail. But if one of that idea out of that 10 works out, that is where magic happens. We have seen it across multiple segments as well. We have seen how Elon Musk, for example, tried multiple, the spaceships, they tried to land multiple spaceships, and they crashed so many of them. But in the end, the outcome that they have been able to drive, that 1 out of 10 possibility is far greater than the total loss that they had incurred because of the lost opportunities. And now, in this period, and for us it was very humbling to understand that how do we evaluate an individual, how do we evaluate ourselves if we are on the right path or not, if given our ideas are not working out. It is very easy to have a self-doubt in yourself if you are not able to get the desired outcome. And the major learning again that came in is that you focus on the process. You focus on the input variables. So for Shadowfax, which is heavily human-dependent logistics ecosystem, the important thing was that if I build an algorithm and if the delivery partners are not accepting it, I will not get the right output. And hence, if I have to evaluate my algorithm, if I have to evaluate my idea, I need to ensure that my input is correct. Now, input is defined in different ways. Input depends that how sincere your efforts have been if you are trying to roll out a particular product. Input defines how thorough your research is. Input defines how clear your thought is or plan is in terms of execution. I mean, it's kind of a very naive way of saying what Srimad Bhagavad Gita teaches us as well, that you have control on the inputs only. You do not have control on the outputs. So in the cases where your ideas are not working out, if you are embracing, if you are seeing failures now and again, it is important to introspect that have we given our best foot forward. And if we have given our best foot forward, it's okay if we fail. The next important thing that we learned in terms of innovation was reducing the cost of innovation. Now, this is something that we read it across different documents from the internal ways of how Facebook works. So Facebook tries to define that if you have to innovate, your cost of innovation has to be low. Because if your cost of innovation is low, it is much more easier for you to iterate or to experiment much more things. Now, cost of innovation can include number of things. Cost of innovation includes how much technology or product bandwidth is needed in order to achieve a particular target. Cost of innovation also means the capital or the capex that is required to actually see whether this idea will work through or not. Cost of innovation also in some ways mean that how quickly can you recover if your ideas do not work out well. And if you try to define your MVP or your minimum viable product in such a way that your cost of innovation is minimum, in that sense, you will have much more bandwidth, you will have much more mental and thought space to be able to iterate a lot. And that defines how quickly can you churn out new innovation, that defines how quickly can you build on an idea that you see that the seeds are sprouting for. Another interesting thing that I would like to focus here, and something I believe a lot of people would have experienced in their workspace or in the group projects as well, the problem of analysis paralysis. So at times, we kind of do a lot of analysis for a given idea or a given problem statement. We dig in through a lot of data, we do a lot of effort, and because of so much inputs coming in, we tend to remain in a paralysis state. See, if you have a thought, if you have an idea that a particular thing can work, it is possible that some other people think that it may not work as well. And that is absolutely true, and that is absolutely healthy to have as a discussion as well. But the important thing for a company, for a unit, for a team, is to have bias for action. See, in life, in startup, or in any state of journey that a person is, 100% clarity is not always available. You need to take actions basis whatever confidence percentage you seem comfortable with. So be it 80%, be it 90%, or whatever direction you need to have. But innovation mandates action. You will never get innovation if you're just thinking out loud. Innovation means agility. Innovation means bias for action. And that is something that we internally popularize it as well. It is fine if you have 80% confidence of this thing should work. But if you have a low cost MVP around it, let's go out there and try it out to see if it works well or not. At times in different boardrooms, in different discussions, people tend to get into debates basis their gut feeling as well. And at times, maybe it is the seniority of the person speaking or the loudest voice in the room defines what decision the team is taking across. And in the earlier days as well, we used to have such kind of scenarios within us as well. What we took a leaf out of it was, so in one of the board meetings of Infosys, Mr. Narayan Murthy himself, he started the presentation with the statement that in God we trust, everyone else brings data onto the table. And we kind of stick to that theme. It is possible that you are a very good leader. It is possible that you have a very good idea. But in case of dispute resolution, let's get data onto the table. And that allows us to have much more richer conversations as we move forward. And the final point on the analysis paralysis point, which kind of opened our eyes a lot as well, and at times this is my go-to strategy in case I am in doubt, is the empathy towards the end user. So a large number of times we sitting in our offices, we think that this particular payout strategy or this particular gamification strategy or this particular route optimization would benefit our delivery partners. They will feel that it is a good thing to have on their end. And we go on for a number of hours of debates and discussion in that direction there without much conclusion. And the beauty that I personally have observed is that in all those scenarios, just go out there and talk to the end users. I'll give a very interesting example here. So we all talk about logistics. When we say logistics, we say route optimizations in most cases. Now, when we went to ground, our delivery partners said, sir, I do not want an optimum route to be allocated to me. What I want is that during the night hours, when my shift is about to end, give me a route which is taking me closer to my home. I do not need the most optimized route from you. I need the route which is taking closer to my home because I have to go home. If you are giving me a opposite direction order, however good money it is making, I will not likely take it. And the same behavior we also see when we are taking an auto as well. I mean, the auto wala keeps asking us, which direction you want to go? And he says that I do not want to go in that direction because that is opposite to the place where I will end up at night. So these ground insights, these having those empathy from the end user itself, going to the actual grassroots levels, that helps us a lot in solving the scenarios of analysis paralysis. Having that zone where you have from the actual users what they want, that gives a very clearer picture on how do we proceed forward. So yeah, these are some of the learnings that we have had in the process on how do we create a culture, how do we create a process wherein we innovate daily. As an individual, as a team, something that we tell each one of them is that if you're feeling that you're not innovating every month at least, then please come talk to us. Because that is what is fueling the passion that you are working with in a startup. It's easy to work in a steady state scenario. It's easy to work in a comfort zone without challenging the status quo. But if you have to build something out, if you have to solve some ground problems that are there, you need to innovate. And that is the culture, that is the thought process that I would also want each one of us carry forward. There are so many problems that we face on a day-to-day basis, be it on a local front, be it on a personal front, be it on a national front as well. And if we put in the right thought, if we put in the right bias for action in solving them, I do believe that as an overall entity, we'll be in a much better shape. And that's something that I would like to share with my speech as well. Thank you so much for patiently listening to it. Have a good day. Thank you.